Have you ever been in a relationship where everything seemed perfect and then, out of nowhere, they pulled away? So one day they are all in, texting you, calling you, making plans, maybe even talking about the future. And then suddenly they start to feel distant. So they're not as responsive as at the beginning. They seem distracted. They are less engaged. And eventually you get this sinking feeling that they are losing interest. If this has happened to you, I want you to know that it's not just in your head. And it's definitely not because you did something wrong. What's actually happening here is something much deeper, and it's all connected to the avoidant attachment style and also to the nervous system. And in this video, I'm going to explain you why avoidants seem to suddenly lose feelings, what's actually happening inside their body and mind, and what's most important, I'm going to tell you what you can do about it so you don't lose yourself in the process. So, if you've ever been left confused by an avoidant partner, keep watching. My name is Luna A. May, and I'm a life and attachment style coach, and I'm also author of a couple of books on attachment styles. So, if you're interested, the links to my books are in the description box below. And what I do is I help people heal their attachment wounds, reprogram their subconscious patterns, and also regulate their nervous system so they can finally experience love that feels safe and secure. But let's start with today's video. The first thing I want you to understand is that avoidants don't actually lose feelings out of nowhere. It might look like that, but it looks like that from the outside. On the inside, it's a completely different story. So, at the beginning of a relationship, an avoidant partner often seems fully engaged. So they enjoy your company, they feel excited, and the relationship still feels lighthearted and safe. And you have to know that avoidants also like this novelty. But the moment things start to feel emotionally close, their behavior might change. And it changes not because they want to pull away. It's because their subconscious mind is wired to see deep connection as a threat. So their brain starts whispering, wait, this is getting serious. This feels risky. I could lose control here. So what happens next isn't a choice. It's an automatic reaction. Their nervous system interprets closeness as danger, and their body begins to shut down emotionally. So they might suddenly feel less attracted. They might feel less excited, less invested. But really, what's happening is that their defense mechanisms are kicking in. So on the surface, it looks like they just lost interest. But in reality, they are pulling away because they are overwhelmed by the emotional intensity of the connection that you have. Now, let's look at the energy behind the avoidant attachment. The energy that they give is the energy of self-protection, of holding back just enough to stay safe. And even if they want love, even if they crave connection, their subconscious energy says, stay back, I can't trust this, I need to stay in control to feel safe. So at first, they're present, they're showing up, they enjoy the connection. But the second that they feel emotionally exposed, the entire system resists it. And the irony here is that the more you try to pull them closer, the more they feel the need to withdraw. Because now they are not only overwhelmed by the intimacy that you have, they also feel the pressure to perform emotionally, the pressure to explain, the pressure to give something that they don't know how to give. And if you have an anxious attachment style, this dynamic can be especially painful. While they are pulling away, your instinct is to fix the situation, to reach out to them, to reconnect, to make sense of what's actually happening. But to them, that often feels like more pressure, more intrusion, more loss of control. And that's how the classic push-pull cycle begins. One person seeks closeness to calm their anxiety, and the other seeks distance to calm theirs. It's exhausting, but it's not random. It's the result of two different nervous systems that are both trying to protect themselves in the opposite ways. So why do avoidants do this? And where does this pattern come from? You have to know that most avoidants grew up in environments where emotional needs weren't met. So maybe their parents were emotionally unavailable, or maybe they were expected to be independent far too early. Some of them even learned that vulnerability meant weakness. That's why over time, their brain learned one clear rule: if I rely on others, I'll get hurt. If I depend on myself, I will survive. Now, fast forward to adulthood, and that same programming is still playing in their head. So, when a relationship starts getting serious, those childhood defense mechanisms activate automatic. It's automatic. Their mind says, if I get too close, I might lose myself. If I let someone in, I might get hurt. And instead of facing that fear, the brain takes a shortcut and it says, I must be losing interest. It's easier to the avoidant to convince themselves that the spark is gone than to admit that the intimacy feels unsafe to them. So, if you keep finding yourself in this kind of dynamic, attracting avoidant partners and repeating the same cycle, what can you actually do about it? So, the key isn't to chase them or try to pull them back. It's to shift your own energy to secure attachment. And that begins with your nervous system. When the avoidance pull away, your instinct might be to panic, to reach out, to get clarity. But that instinct is coming from your body's stress response. So, the first step is to regulate your own nervous system. Start by placing one hand gently on your belly and the other on your heart. Take a slow diaphragmatic breath. Feel the hand on your belly rise as you inhale. You inhale through your nose. Let your chest stay soft and your breath move deep into the abdomen. Then exhale through your mouth. Do that again and a couple of more times. As you breathe this way, you're activating your vagus nerve, the pathway that tells your body that it's safe to relax. It's like giving your nervous system a direct signal. We're okay. Now give yourself a gentle self-hug. So you cross your arms over your chest so that each hand rests on your upper arms or shoulders. Take another deep breath like this and feel the warmth of your own touch. You can even squeeze lightly and release, just like you would do if it was somebody else, a friend, for example. This might seem simple, but it's powerful. When you hold yourself this way, your body releases oxytocin. And oxytocin is the hormone of safety and connection. It's your way to say to your system, I've got you. And if your anxiety still feels strong, you can try the butterfly hug. Gently tap your hands on your upper arms, alternating left and right. It's like soft wings. As you breathe, this bilateral rhythm helps you calm both sides of your brain and brings your focus back to the present moment. Keep tapping like this until you feel a little more grounded, a little more present in the moment. Your nervous system needs physical proof that safety exists even when connection feels uncertain. You need to know that. So the more you give your body these small, consistent signals of calm, the faster you will break the anxious avoidance cycle and return to the secure energy. When I work with clients, this is where we start. We create body safety before we try to fix the relationship. Because if your body still equates distance with danger, you'll keep reacting instead of responding. So, if you'd like to explore how to do that in your specific situation, there's a link to the description where you can learn more about working with me one-on-one. Now, let's go deeper into how to retrain your nervous system when you feel that panic rise. Step 1 is to recognize the trigger. So notice the exact moment where your body starts to tighten. Maybe you see they're online, but not replying. Or maybe your plans get canceled. That's the spark. Step 2, soften your body before you react. Do one physical movement to release tension. So you can shake your hands out, roll out your shoulders, stretch your neck, and this tells your body, we are safe to feel this. The first step is to name what's happening. Instead of saying, they are abandoning me, try saying, my body feels unsafe right now. This is simple change, and the simple change helps you to separate the story from the sensation. The fourth step is to self-soothe. So you can do it in a way that we did before, by diaphragmatic breathing, by holding yourself or doing the butterfly hug. When you do this consistently, your system learns that closeness isn't the only source of safety. You are your source of safety. Now, while you are doing your inner work, you can also learn to respond differently on the outside. So instead of chasing when they pulled away, try this kind of energy. I sense you need some more space right now, and that's okay with me. I'm here when you are ready. This communicates calm authority. It says, I care, but I'm not losing myself. And the avoidance body feels the grounded energy and it makes him feel safe. It's unfamiliar, but it's relieving. Over time, that's what allows them to stay connected longer because your calm nervous system tells their nervous system that it's safe here. And let's be honest, it won't always be easy. Your body will want to react, but every time you pause and you self regulate, you're rewiring your attachment patterns. You are teaching your body that love doesn't have to equal anxiety. You are building secure energy, and secure energy is magnetic. So let's recap. Avoidants don't lose feelings because they stop liking you. They lose access to their own feelings because their nervous system perceived closeness as danger. The withdrawal is a protection mechanism. Remember that. It's not rejection, it's protection mechanism. And your job isn't to convince them to stay, it's to stay connected to yourself. When your body feels safe, you stop chasing, you stop overfunctioning, and you start embodying the calm, confident energy that creates true connection. And if this video resonated with you, you might also like the video Why Giving an Avoidance Space Won't Bring Them Closer. And if you are ready for more personalized support, you can find the link to my one-on-one coaching in the description box below. Remember, love isn't lost when someone pulls away. Sometimes it's simply that their nervous system doesn't yet know how to stay close. The more you regulate your system, the more safety you bring into every connection. And that's where real, lasting love begins. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.